great. I'm surprised how many there are of you, but I think you're looking good, and based on that fact, I'm not going to make any assumptions. I'll just ask, how many of you here have ever been on a date at BYU? Yeah? Oh, good number, good amount of you, that's good. Based off that question, how many of you would consider yourself a pretty brave and courageous person? Okay, all of you should be raising your hand, because I'm here to tell you that dating at BYU is not for the weak. Although, admittedly, sometimes it seems like it is for a week. You may recognize this pattern whether from a boy's perspective or from a girl's perspective. Let me explain. Let's start at the beginning. Sunday is the first day, and for the sake of our story, let's pretend like it's the first Sunday of the semester. All across campus, thousands of people are interacting with what could potentially be their future spouse. That first impression could end up being an eternal impression. This is serious business. But it's okay, and you have the power, you have the control. So make sure that you find a spot next to a very cute girl in Sunday school that first day, and settle yourself in. Things are going good, you ask her name, you're associating with her, it's all well, until the bishop gets up to give his lesson. And of course, it's the lesson on the law of chastity, which is fine, a little awkward, but he's just going to talk to you for about an hour about how not to even look at girls, just be anxiously engaged in a good and pure cause at all times, and be chaste, always. You must be chaste, which is fine. Makes it a little awkward for the cute girl you're sitting next to, very close to, but you recover. It's okay, because then immediately after that, he's of course going to attack with equal vigor to encourage you to not only look at girls, but find one to marry quick, be anxiously engaged. Engaged is fine. And in order to catch the girl, she's got to be chased. So start running, because she's flying. So take that opportune moment, the cute girl's right there, and ask her to the CES fireside that night. It's a good first date, and the two of you have a lot of fun. Then, of course, Monday rolls around. You and your roommates are giddy with excitement to go over to the boys' apartment and meet your new FHE family. And when you get there, Dad opens the door. But it's not Dad, you don't think. You think it's Mr. CES Fireside from the night before. And you're right, but at that moment you start to formulate in your head that FHE actually stands for Future Husband Eventually. And the magic starts happening right there. You start clicking, you're making connections, and he's finishing your sentences already, and it's these perfect moments when really devotion starts to attend to its plan. Or actually, you should just plan to attend the devotional, because the next day is Tuesday. Devotional. Marriott Center, you know the drill. The lights are low, there's soft music playing in the background. If you plan it right and attend a forum, you'll be the only ones for about 10 rows around, and let's face it, since it's Jimmer's domain, it's a place that sees a lot of scoring, and you've known her 3 days, so hold her hand. It's time. So then the wheels are really going, and the magic's flying, and Wednesday rolls around. Well, Wednesday, it's your turn to make dinner for the dinner group there, and which means you naturally have to invite him over to display your domestic skills. And it also means that your visiting teachers, your neighbors, and your closest friends are going to be meeting him and judging him. Judging him off of what he looks like, what you've said about him, what he says to you, what he says to his mom, is he reading his scriptures every day, and most importantly, how is he going to look on a wedding announcement, kind of buzzed out in the background while you're in the forefront of the picture, snipping a red rose right on the fridge. Well, they think it's going to look great, so you then take the liberty, and you might play a little footsie at dinner, because, well, your soulmate sentence behind, but he doesn't stay long because, of course, parking at BYU, he's going to get booted if he stays in the Y lot too long, if he can count his spot at all. He takes off, leaving you the remainder of the night to stay up till 3, giggling with your roommates and completely neglecting all the homework you should have done 3 days ago, which is fine. You're a little tired for Thursday, but Thursday's a good day because he's going to take you to the movies that night. Unfortunately, it's the last day of the month, which means, well, it means your home teachers are over. But it's okay, they exchange a short lesson and you get the number from the one on the left to set dates for future service opportunities. And then you dash off with Mr. Dashing to the Dollar Theater. Parenthetical reference here to note that this is done on a Thursday instead of a Friday because it's close enough to the weekend to count. You want to avoid the price uppage that comes on the weekend because it's not the Dollar Theater anymore, it's the $1.50 theater on Saturdays. And if you play it right, you can get another one of those opportune moments of 10 empty rows all around, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, it just means romance for 100 pennies. Makes sense. Which is great. And you think things are going great, especially over on this side. It's going well, you're in love, you're gonna get married. And it's looking good because yesterday was Thursday. Today it is Friday. We so excited because it's date night and you've got it all planned out. You're gonna go hike up the Y, romantic, I know. And all 13 switchbacks. She doesn't really say much about it. I mean, it's a hard hike and you're out of breath mostly because you're planning your next big move, so you're a little nervous. But you get to the top and you think it is ideal. I mean, the wind is blowing in her hair. Provo is laid out picturesquely below. And as you go in for the kiss, she says she wants to have a DTR. A DTR on top of the Y. Now, for those of you who don't know, a DTR stands for define the relationship. And she wants to have one right at this opportune romantic moment. But you're a kind young gentleman, so you comply and you have the DTR. And you know what she says? Yep, she's scared. She is scared to commit. You met her on Sunday, it's Friday, 5 days have come and gone, and you're stuck on top of a mountain with her. So, hiking down the Y has never been so awkward, but you get to the end of the trail and ultimately it's the end of the relationship. But the next day is Saturday, and speaking of commitment, the commitment you made to do your homework is suddenly looking much more doable, except that you can't think because you're too busy thinking about how said he wanted to marry you and you really do love him and he loves you and you had prayed about it but you hadn't gotten an answer yet and your mom said you were maybe rushing into it so fast so you didn't know what to do and next thing you know all your Oreos are gone and you thought about it for 20 minutes and your phone is ringing, which was weird, but you look at it and you realize it's your home teacher, which is extremely odd because it's only the second day of the month, but it was the cute one on the left, so you answer it and he says to you, "Hello, girl of my dreams. Too good to wait a whole 28 days, so let's divide it by 4 and think about the next 7. What's your week looking like?" And of course, the only appropriate response then is, "My week? Let's start at the beginning. Tomorrow is Sunday."